Welcome back to Prime Time, y'all. Now back at it again with another toxic topic. Before we get into this toxic topic, go ahead and get your meal, your drink, your blunt, or your snack into your man or sneaky link that you will. Call them back because Prime just dropped a new video. So as you can see by the title and the thumbnail, today we are talking about how to turn a top into a bottom. Now before y'all get my comments going crazy and like, oh my god, like, if my position is my position, ain't no change in my, cool. That's fine. I ain't talking to you there. Like, some of y'all just hell bent or on staying in y'all placements or y'all categories or y'all preference. But let's be honest, I feel like y'all people like that, I feel like they take away from the queer sex experience, because it's like, that's so boring. Like, come on now. Like, you might as well go have hetero sex. Like, if you want to be a pure top or a pure ass bottom, like that one-sided ass position. I feel like the plusness and the richness of queer sex is that it could be anything and everything. Now, for this video specifically, like, I'm only talking about how to turn a top into a bottom and not how to turn a bottom into a top. If this video do good, I'm gonna make that part 2 to this. So let's get into it, shall we? First thing first, build up that chemistry. You have to build up that chemistry, y'all. Like, I feel like this is the most important part. Like, you gotta build up that chemistry. That way this person feels comfortable with you. They trust you. You know what I'm saying? With their body and everything. So, because a lot of queer folk, they've been through a lot of trauma, and they could be holding on to that trauma or not feel safe enough for you to even get in that position with them, if you know what I'm saying. For example, like, I done ran into a lot of tops in my experience where they have been touched or taken advantage of as a child, which causes them to not want to ever try bottoming again or just stay atop because they don't want to feel or be that vulnerable again for another person or to another person. So pretty much, yeah, you got to build up that trust. You got to build up that chemistry. That way, they're going to want to toot it up for you, throw it back for you. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's rule number 1. Two is important as well. You got to get rid of your old way of thinking with number 2, okay? Like, get rid of that old way of thinking, those whole gender roles or those whole categories or positions. You gotta think real fluent, like, at this point, because it's like, okay, anything is possible. I'm trying to turn the top into a bottom. I'm trying to make him feel this way, and vice versa. So you gotta think of, okay, I gotta be dominant, because you can still be soft. Like, it's such things as soft tops, and you can still be soft. You can even still be submissive and still, like, top. It's not like you gotta just change your whole identity to be a top or a bottom. But you could be a soft top, and shit, you could even be a dominant top, or hey, both your sides could be different, okay? They could be 2 different people or entities or 2 different variations of yourself. Shit, you could be a dominant bottom, you could be a submissive top, or vice versa. Everything is interchangeable. You gotta think of everything like this is fluid, Get rid of just that old shit. Like, okay, we gotta choose position before we get into this. Don't even talk about it. Just let it happen. And with that being said, let me clarify what I mean, by just let it happen. Don't consent. Consent is needed all the time. Consent is always needed. Trent, clip this part. Clip this part for me. But yes, consent is always needed. So don't just be taking people, because y'all ain't have a conversation, let them want to give it to you, because that's another thing for the top. They need to want to bottom. Like, you just can't force somebody to bottom. Like, they need to want it. You know what I'm saying? Which leads me to my number 3, okay? Foreplay, baby, okay? Foreplay is number 1. Well, it's important, but not as important like these last 2. Number 3 is important, but it's pretty up there, okay? So foreplay, the foreplay got to be on point. Okay, the foreplay got to be on point. It has to be long, and this way you can loosen up your quote unquote person you trying to make it to a bottom. You know, kissing, making out, touching, sucking on body parts. Eat them out. Eat them out, because a lot of people say you ain't sticking if you ain't licking. So go ahead and eat it. Like, now I'm not saying, you know, eat everybody's stuff, because, you know, me personally, I didn't have to do all that when I was doing what I had to do. You know, I had to change somebody over so I could get to hitting them cakes, you know. But is a plus to eat their cakes, and they're gonna be more inclined to bottom for you if you eating the cakes. You know what I'm saying? And then number 4, patience, y'all. You got to be patient, because honestly, if you turn over a top to a bottom, you gonna need a lot of patience, because that shit ain't easy. Let me make something clear. Bottoming is not easy, okay? That shit is hard. You know, harder for some, intermediate for others, easy for a lot. Okay, so when it comes to bottoming, you have to be patient, because you don't know what type of person you dealing with. Like, they might be real, like, you could barely get up in there, and, you know, they nervous, they scared, probably went through something, or maybe you're just not that person for them. Like, sometimes, you know, people might look at you like, for example, me, like, it was hard for me to get a top to let me top him, because I'm smaller in stature. I have a slim frame. You know, a lot of people will classify me as a twink, so a lot of times will be like, nah, you too small to be topping me, blah 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 blah. But that's why you gotta be really fucking convincing and really do these steps accordingly. Which also leads me to my number 5. Like, set some boundaries as well, okay? Like, if you run into, like, even if they not really a whole top, or they say they averse, but every time they link up with you, they only want to top. Set some boundaries, be like, look, I'm tired of you topping me if you're not gonna let me top. Like, we gonna have to do this flip-flop, okay? Like, or you gonna have to let me hit back there, because, like, I used to run into a lot of verses, and we'll link up, and they would want to top me because I was the smaller one. And they'd be like, well, I just don't feel like, since I'm this tall, you should be topping me. And I'd be like, fuck all that. Like, let me in there. I don't give a fuck. Like, we could do all types of positions. Like, I'm gonna get in there regardless. No matter how tall you could be, a little person, okay? That's a different conversation. But anyway, you know, set some boundaries. Be like, look, I'm only doing what you gonna do. And that way, they could probably be like, okay, I try to bottom for you, you know. That way, they're gonna want to top you as well, you know. But that's really all I gotta say for this one. You know, let me know in the comments how you feel. Like, have you ever turned a top into a bottom? Or vice versa? Like, let me know in the comments. Or if you got some other added rules or secrets to turning a top into a bottom. Like, let us know in the comments below. And if you made it through this whole video, baby, I love you. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and please hit that notification bell on the side so you will be notified the next time I upload. And I'll catch you on another Prime Time.